Let's unlock meditation's inner peace by understanding the Four Noble Truths. And of course, perfectionist Jigme is upset that the T is capitalized over there. This lesson is drawn from the meditation manual I'm currently writing, Easy Enlightenment. The first of Four Noble Truths can be explained from a certain point of view that into each life some rain must fall. And that rain can be circumstantial, physical, interpersonal, or mental. It's usually not an indictment. These things are usually out of our control. They're not the caprice of some real or imagined entity. The second noble truth is that it's quite ironic that the same survival impulses that can save our life can sometimes squander any hope for fulfillment when they become stuck in place. So here are four examples of exacerbating dualities: our hatred for scarcity, pain, scorn, and shame, as well as our craving for increased abundance, pleasure, praise, and fame. Now, these things, this aversion and attachment are not necessarily bad. The question is, are they occasional, or do they define us? The third of Four Noble Truths answers this: what is it that Buddha is liberating us from? He's not liberating us from the presence of our dualities. He's liberating us from their tyranny. And that's an important distinction. So how do we go about making this happen? Do we use faith? Do we use belief? Do we use visualization? Do we use positive thinking? No. We use the Eightfold Path. What if enlightenment was nothing more than simply mastery of the Eightfold Path? And what if it was possible to do that in 16 weeks? I do look forward to chanting and meditating with you this evening after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I've spent more than 8 hours a day, every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each sect of Buddhism so that you would not have to. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. I guess it could be fancy and go like this, but I'm not sure that'll actually show up on the screen. Let's see here. I think I pushed the wrong button. Number 9 is supposed to be the right button, and it doesn't look like that actually materialized. So let's hit there we go. That's the ticket. That's what I'm looking for. So who is this kind gaze? Well, if we are stuck in the stream of being rigid, fearful, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel, we might make the mistake of assuming that kind gaze is an entity to be worshipped and supplicated. But if we have the very good fortune to train on the path of being flexible, loving, laid back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind, then we will have the courage to view kind gaze as merely an archetype whose iconography reminds us that we are already wired to master the awareness and letting go, as well as bliss and letting go, not to mention love and letting go. During this evening's practice, it's kind of like cooking a pancake, because we're going to flip and we're going to flop between mantra meditation and silent meditation. So let's begin by reviewing the meaning of the 6-syllable mantra. Om I invoke the wish of ending mani jewel of love and the purifying payme lotus of letting go, supplicating with whom may love and letting go be mastered by all. Our first, so just as we inferred in the opening graphic, the contemporary path of Dzogchen can be explained or practiced in terms of 4 categories: awareness and letting go, love and letting go, the preliminary practices, and bliss and letting go. Tonight, let's begin with bliss and letting go. Once again, this brass figure represents our enlightened potential. This red couple sporting in tantric union literally remind us of pleasurable sensations, figuratively remind us of the teachings. During our inhale, so what's the trick? What's the secret to transforming mindless mantra recitation into spiritually productive mantra meditation? It's a 2-step process. Step 1, during the inhalation, we silently and mentally recite this italicized bit. And number 2, during the exhalation, we physically relax as best we can, while striving to chant these 12 syllables 4 times per breath. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Welcome to this evening's live stream. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. Let us begin with mindfulness. Every time we breathe in, whether we mean to or not, we are accessing our sympathetic nervous system. It's located not within the 3-pound supercomputer between our ears. It is ensconced within the thoracic region of our spinal cord. It evolved to support neither extreme of mind blanking or active concentration, but instead to merely perceive, and to do so vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly. If I wanted to wax poetic, I would insist that vulnerability is the price we pay for mindfulness. Perhaps that is why this archetype of meditation, described in Sanskrit as samantabhadra, samantabhadri, karma mudra, are depicted as naked, the epitome of vulnerability. Well, you might reasonably ask, if we're not supposed to actively concentrate upon our breath, then what shall we do with it? Simple. We treat our breath the way a piano student treats their metronome. When we notice our body breathing in, we can silently and mentally recite, perceiving this very turbulent play of mind. When we notice our body exhaling, we could silently and mentally recite, relaxing into mind's non-graspable nature. Now, over the next 4 exercises, we're going to make a journey from, maybe, is it 4 or is it 5? No, over the next 5 exercises, we're going to be on a journey from a 12-syllable exercise to a 3-syllable exercise to a 1-syllable exercise. So let's knock out a few of these right now. Maybe 8, maybe 12, maybe 16. I'm probably going to count faster than you because I'm breathing faster than you because I'm doing all this talking. But this asks a really interesting question. How do we keep track of the 8 or 12 or 16 breaths? Allow me to introduce you or remind you of the teaching of, or the technique of, Bengali crease counting. Please consider your left palm. During your inhalation, you could advance the tip of your left thumb. Upon each finger, there are several places you can count. If you want to count to 8, you can count the first 2 creases on each finger for a total of 8. If you want to count to 12, you can count all 3 creases on each of the 4 fingers for a total of 12. And you guessed it, if you also count the tips, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 4 places to count on 4 fingers for a total of 16. That went pretty fast, so I'm going to hold my hand up during our first practice so you kind of get a feel for this. This is going to be weird and awkward at first, but don't worry, after a week or so, you'll get used to it. Let us turn our attention now to the outer set of preliminary practices. By exercising the vulnerability to notice others' stress, sows the seeds for greater empathy in our heart. As we breathe in, please silently and mentally recite, "May I note others' stress." And as you exhale, please physically relax as best you can while striving to chant these 12 syllables 4 times per breath. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. The greatest benefit of interdependence is that we get to lighten others' load. During your inhalation, please silently and mentally recite, "May my love help others." This is not a prayer. This is merely us using words to guide our intention. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. It doesn't take a scholar to notice change. We see the seasons change. We see the moon wax and wane. We see the sun rise and set. We feel our lungs swell and sink, or at least our chest. Therefore, we conclude, ever-changing one and all, there is nothing permanent to grasp. Let us therefore silently and mentally recite, "Seeing change fuels release." Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. The most efficient way to get things done, the most sustainable way, is not to move from a shoulds. We're too old to should all over ourselves, but instead to flow from love's centered spontaneity. Hence, as we breathe in, let us silently and mentally recite, "Spontaneous and centered love." Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. This is the most efficient way to make the most of the precious opportunities to meditate. Let us begin with a spot of review. Every time we breathe in, we're wired to notice sights, sounds, sensations, flavors, scents, and the like. We're also wired to notice emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, and imaginings. But what are we to do with that which we notice? Might I suggest we meditate? But how does that work? Every time we exhale, whether we know it or not, whether we mean to or not, we access our parasympathetic nervous system. Once again, found in the spinal cord, it is located more specifically in the lower lumbar region as well as the tippy top of the cervical region. This parasympathetic nervous system has evolved to support both physical relaxation as well as mental release. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever we noticed during our previous inhalation could begin to feel less graspable. Now, since all complex life forms on this planet evolved to think symbolically, let us sprinkle some symbolic language into this explanation. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever we noticed during our previous inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Now, what is a real-world example of a non-graspable vast empty void? How about the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although is tantalizing to the eye, is intangible to the hand. Perhaps that is why this archetype of meditation, described in Tibetan as Kundu Zangpo, Kundu Zangmo, Yabyum, is depicted as being translucent and is now graspable as a rainbow. During our inhalation, let us silently and mentally recite sitting tall, thus allowing our body or reminding our body to generate a vertical traction between our tuchus and our head. During our exhalation, let's silently and mentally recite the 3-syllable verb relaxing. Now let us make our way to the inner set of preliminary practices. We are doing so in accordance with the instructions of the great Tibetan Saint Dzogchen Rinpoche's final meditation manual, known popularly as the Heart Treasure of the Enlightened Ones. Let us cultivate the loving wish to free all beings from the tyranny of forever hating, craving, and clinging. Om Mani Mimi Yung, 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 Om Mani Mimi Yung. Pragmatically, the key to us being able to help others experience liberation is our own reliance upon the Buddha's example, instructions, and students, which are known metaphorically as the 3 jewels, or the 3 wish-fulfilling jewels. Om Mani Mimi Yung, 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 Om Mani Mimi Yung. Rather than squandering time and energy in defensiveness while simultaneously igniting our relationships, how much wiser could it be instead to learn from our mistakes? Om Mani Mimi Yung, 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 Om Mani Mimi Yung. There is a wonderfully metaphoric way to train in generosity. It is known as Cho, and it consists of two parts. During the first part, we rehearse the inevitability of death, willing our very subtle mind to shoot up our central channel and out our crown into the heart of the teachings. Then to return to our former body that once we cherished, and now purify, transform, and increase it into a vast ocean of bliss-inducing nectar, which we then offer to all the denizens of samsara and nirvana, especially those to whom we owe some sort of a karmic debt. We're going to practice this rather concisely and efficiently by simply reciting silently and mentally, out through crown, share my stuff. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Let us explore the first of two fringe benefits of a regular practice of mindfulness and meditation. We'll start with bad news, good news. When we rely on active concentration and active mindfulness, our blood mass collects in this pea-sized structure at the base of our limbic system, described as the amygdala, which functions as the seat of aggression and anxiety. Here's the good news. When we replace active concentration for passive mindfulness, when we replace active contemplation with passive meditation, our blood mass shifts from the amygdala to a hunk of meat described as the anterior cingulate gyrus. Located just a few centimeters behind our forehead, it functions as the hub of our mirror neurons, the seat of empathy. It should come as little surprise, therefore, that for many, many, many centuries, the Dzogchen Lamas of Tibet have insisted that the highest love is spontaneous and uncontrived. It should come, therefore, as a little surprise that this archetype of meditation is depicted, or the members of this archetype of meditation are depicted as beautiful. During our inhalation, please silently and mentally recite, notice this. During our exhalation, please silently and mentally recite, relaxing. This brings us to our second exercise of blessing letting go, described in Sanskrit as Guru Yoga and in Tibetan as Lama Naljor. During our inhalation, let us silently and mentally recite Lama blend with heart-mind. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Now let us explore the second of two fringe benefits of a regular practice of mindfulness and meditation. Consider, if you will, this gal, the color of a cumulus cloud. Notice how she actively sports in tantric union. This reminds us that contrivance is trumped by spontaneity. Now consider her partner, the color of the azure sky, who appears to be passively savoring a tantric union. This reminds us that not all spontaneity is created equal, and that scattered spontaneity, like the kind you get after your third espresso, scattered spontaneity is trumped by the centered spontaneity that is the fringe benefit of mindfulness and meditation. But wait, there's more. When our choices, utterances, and deeds flow from the effortless effort of love's centered spontaneity, then our life could be almost as blissful as that which is depicted in Buddhist art. It could be almost as blissful as a real or imagined Buddha's paradise. As we inhale, let us silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this. And as we exhale, let us silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease, which functions as a synonym of relax. Having climbed to contemplative cruising altitude, together as a team, let us meditate as transformatively as Obi-Wan Kenobi upon the sands of Tatooine under the guidance of the Force Ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn. Let us enter now the gateway of Yoga Tantra and practice the conventional path of love and letting go, where it is love that is emphasized. This is described by some as leaping over jealousy. The next 8 exercises are going to be highly figurative. Let us lovingly wish that all minds of all beings are now as wise. So Buddha's, as the mind of a real or imagined Buddha, symbolized by a one-syllable mantra known as a seed or a bija. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Let us lovingly wish that each being's experience of the interpersonal was as loving as a Buddha's real or as a real or imagined Buddha's relationships symbolized by mantra. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Let us lovingly wish that all bodies of all beings now enjoy the wonderful health we see depicted in Tibetan tapestries. In Tibetan tapestries depicting archetypes of enlightenment known as Devis or Yadams. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Let us lovingly wish that all circumstances of all beings now be as fortunate and as safe as a Buddha's paradise depicted in Tibetan tapestries, known as a Pure Land or a Vati. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. The English translation of Samantabhadra, Samantabhadri Karma Mudra could be described as the all-good one sporting and tantric union. How are we all good? We're all good because we already possess the neurological equipment required to master mindfulness, meditation, and empathy. We can master Buddha's path. We can do it in 16 weeks or less. Having chanted the mantra 32 times, during our inhalation, let us kick back and watch the antics of mind as silently and mentally we recite this. And during our exhalation, let us relax into mind's non-graspable nature as silently and mentally we recite the verb ease. Welcome to this evening's live stream. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or their application, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. During the next 4 exercises, we're again going to work with all love and letting go, but this time we're going to emphasize letting go. This is what some people describe as leaping over pride. So the key to transforming mindless, superstitious mantra recitation into spiritually productive mantra meditation is twofold. During our in-breath, we could silently and mentally recite an italicized bit. And during our exhalation, we could physically relax as best we can, whilst striving to chant these 12 syllables 4 times per breath. Now, these next 4 italicized bits are highly figurative, so I'll give some extra explanation. Every time we relax into our exhalation, whatever perceptions, emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, and imaginings we clearly experienced during our inhalation could begin to feel as if they were as non-graspable as a Buddha's mind symbolized, or as a one-syllable mantra comprised only of light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever experience of the interpersonal we might have perceived during our inhalation could begin to feel as if it was as non-graspable. It's a real or imagined mantra comprised only of light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. During our inhalation, our bodies could feel rather sensual. However, as we relax into our exhalation, these exact same bodies could begin to feel as if they were as non-graspable as a real or imagined yadam or archetype of enlightenment comprised only of light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. During our inhalation, our circumstances could appear to us rather vividly. However, as we relax into our exhalation, these exact same circumstances could begin to feel as if they were as non-graspable as a real or imagined Buddha's paradise or vati comprised only of light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Let us practice a bit of the old awareness and letting go. Having trained in love and letting go, now let us train in awareness and letting go. Let us bring the 5 body regions into the path of bliss and letting go. Welcome to this evening's live stream. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. As we breathe in, let us silently and mentally recite relaxing into womb. This refers to the womb region of the lower abdomen. For let's face it, in our early weeks of fetal development, we all begin as females. During our exhalation, let's physically relax as best we can while striving to chant these 12 syllables 4 times per breath. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. During our inhalation, let us silently and mentally recite relaxing with navel. Let me put this another way. Whatever navel we might have noticed during our inhalation, as we relax into our exhalation, we could begin to feel as if it was as non-graspable as the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever chest we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel far less graspable. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever throat we might have noticed during our inhalation could feel less graspable. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever crown or scalp or top of our head we might have noticed during our inhalation could feel less graspable. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Having chanted the syllable 40 times, let us silently and mentally, during our inhalation, let us kick back and watch the antics of mind as silently and mentally we recite the demonstrative pronoun this. During our exhalation, let us relax into mind's not graspable nature as silently and mentally we recite the one-syllable verb ease. Now let us bring the spontaneous play of mind into the path of awareness and letting go, that we might slice through the duality of dread and desire. During our inhalation, we could silently and mentally recite, relaxing into this. But what does this refer to? This refers to but whatever we notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly as we inhale, whether that which we notice is external, internal, physical, mental, pleasurable, painful, interesting, boring, glorious, or grotesque. During our exhalation, let's physically relax as best we can while striving to chant these 12 syllables 4 times per breath. Or I should say this set of 12 syllables. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Having chanted the mantra 32 times, as we let us kick back and enjoy the antics of mind during our inhalation, as silently and mentally we recite the demonstrative pronoun this. Let us, and during our exhalation, let us relax into mind's non-graspable nature. Silently and mentally we recite the one-syllable verb is. Om mani mimi yung, 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 Mani Mimi Yung, Om Mani Mimi Yung, Mani Mimi Yung, Om Mani Mimi Yung, Mani Mimi Yung. Om Mani Mimi Yung, Mani Mimi Yung, 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 Om Mani Mimi Yung, Mani Mimi Yung. Now for something subtly different, let's only recite the mantra, the top row. Clearly during the in-breath, we'll continue to recite this bit. Let's see if this works here. Okay. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Aha. Well, that didn't work nearly as good as I would have liked it to, so let's do this. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. 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 Welcome to this evening's live stream. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or their application, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. During the inhalation, please silently and mentally recite relaxing into this. What does this represent? This represents whatever we notice during our inhalation. Whatever we notice, vulnerably, passively, viscerally, or randomly. Whether that which we notice is a sight, a sound, a sensation, a flavor, a scent, or the like. Any emotion and intention, a thought, a memory, an imagining. whether it is external, internal, physical, mental, pleasurable, painful, interesting, boring, glorious, or grotesque. What do we do with that which we notice? During our exhalation, we physically relax as best we can while chanting this 6-syllable mantra 4 times. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 What does these silly syllables mean? Classically in Tantric Buddhism, Om is a syllable of invocation. Oopsie, where's my cursor? Hung is a syllable of supplication. Mani literally means jewel, which is short for wish-fulfilling jewel, which is a metaphor of love. Or I should say love and letting go. Padme is Tibetan pronunciation of Padme, which is Sanskrit for lotus, which is a metaphor of the purity that comes from contemplating awareness and letting go. So you put it all together, and what do you get? The loving intention that all beings everywhere master the path of love and letting go. I should say love and letting go, and awareness and letting go. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 I'm going too fast. I apologize for that. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Having chanted the mantra 16 times, during our inhalation, let us kick back and watch the antics of mind as silently and mentally we recite the demonstrative pronoun this. During our exhalation, let us relax into mind's non-graspable nature as silently and mentally we recite the 1-syllable verb ease. Let us seal this evening's practice with a love that wishes for the universal mastery of Buddha's Eightfold Path. May all master change in wishing, love, as well as kind communication, conduct, and commerce. May all master the effortless effort of love-centered spontaneity, as well as mindfulness and meditation. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could also share it on social media. Heck, you could even help support the channel. In approximately 10 3/4 hours, I would very much like to return to lead tomorrow's early meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.